Welcome back here to the Weekend Warrior Show Recap Podcast. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to listen. I'm going to be talking about 3 different shows this last weekend. We had Friday night in LeRoy at a place called Houdinis Spirits, and Saturday was PK's Uncorked, and then Sunday we did a little recording over at the Nap House, and we did that full band, so that those videos should be coming out soon. I was going to also talk about, I'm pretty sure the last show booked for our Colorado tour this year, which we're pretty pumped about. Not till August, but, I've been trying to book the shows for pretty much since the beginning of January, so to get the last one done was pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Always a blast out there. It's just a whole different universe, really. So looking forward to that. But anyway, okay, so back to the shows this last weekend. Houdinis, we ended up, and we did 3-piece. So me, Dave, and Lo. Lo was pretty sick, but she toughed it out and did the whole show, which was cool. I did the foot percussion because Dave really wanted me to. I usually don't do it there because it's kind of a smaller place and, a little bit more laid back. And sometimes it's fun to kind of go there and just play acoustic. But this time, Dave was having a bunch of people come out to see us, and he asked if I would do it because he has a good time playing congas and bongos with the foot percussion kind of holding down the simple part of the beat, and then he gets to kind of go crazy, which is his forte. So I did interesting setup. Not really that interesting. I just went back to the old way I would have done it before I got recently. I probably the last 6 or 8 months, maybe a year, I don't know. I got a JBL stack, which is pretty much like a generic Bose, but I decided to not use that since we were doing 3-piece. I think pretty much that's, it's only good in specific places, and if you're doing 1 or 2 people, guitar only, guitar and vocal, and you get any of that foot percussion stuff or any of the backing track stuff that Blair doesn't really hold up. And it's just like, it really makes a difference where you put it. But anyway, I've had these Yamahas for a really long time. They're 700 watt, 10-inch powered speakers, and they just make every room sound great. I was thinking with the JBL, it'd be nice because it's a lot less to set up. Because, with the Yamahas, you have to do the mixer and plug the speakers in, and it's just a little bit less messy with the JBL, but, it doesn't sound quite as good. So it's kind of a give-take thing. Just depends on, like I said, the room, the pay, and if it's just me But anyway, so I went back to the old way, and I think that ended up and was pretty cool. We were definitely on the loud side, but it's kind of a small bar, so, and I saw some videos after, and they seemed like it sounded pretty good, although it was like the first couple songs that we played, which are oftentimes the roughest, especially on a 3-hour set, because you a lot of times, I think, let the set warm me up instead of, I warmed up a little bit before, but not like an extensive one. If it's like an hour set or 45-minute set, you pretty much have to warm up for, 30 minutes to an hour beforehand. So when the owner is the person who takes the videos, and she's just trying to let people know that there's live music going on to come down, and it's best to do that early for marketing purposes. But for the musician, usually is like the worst couple songs or the first 2, because you're still getting used to the sound, you're getting the levels kind of set in, and you're not completely warmed up yet, and they're usually not the best songs necessarily. But it's still really cool that she tapes them because you can watch it later and kind of get a general idea of what it sounded like, because there's so many shows that you do that nobody takes any footage for, and then they're just lost and gone forever, and it's just kind of in your head how it sounded, which sometimes can be deceiving. But there was a lot of people, and I think it was a great show. We ended up and got to try out one of my new songs I've been working on recording called "The Wheel," which I'm pretty excited will be released sometime in the next few months, hopefully. I'm actually doing this one all myself, recording-wise. So it's a little bit of like an indie folk song. Actually, this iPad that I'm recording the podcast on is the one that I've been recording the song on, because a buddy of mine from Pontiac, he pretty much did everything on his iPad for the longest time, and he had like an old one, and I would listen to these songs and just be like, how do you make it sound so good? Like, I can't believe that you did that, and recorded with the iPad microphone, no extensions or anything like that. And he always just told me it was just the iPad, and I never really believed him. But I ended up and broke down and we got one this year, probably last year around November. So I've been kind of doing, and it is crazy how good of a sound you can get. And he's been showing me some stuff too with it, which was helpful. But anyway, so I'm recording this new song, and been working on it for a while. And Dave actually plays congas in the actual recording, and so it was fun to kind of start playing that one out. Just new songs like that are always fun. But anyway, so that is the Houdini show. The next night at PK's in Pontiac, I was by myself. Laurelyn, I think, overdid it the night before because she was still feeling pretty sick. So, I mean, you could tell after we played that she was hurting pretty bad. So, anyway, I ended up and did foot percussion at this one as well, partially because we were recording a couple songs at the Nap House, like I mentioned earlier, on Sunday. So I wanted to be like good and tight with doing the foot drums, but I've never used the foot drums at PK's before, and because they're usually pretty worried about the sound being like too loud because there's people that live above it, and this time I just went in with the mindset that like I'm gonna totally just be as quiet as possible. So I dampened my kick drum, and I put some tape on some of the bells on the tambourine, so everything was much quieter. Didn't mic any of those at all. I think it turned out really well. And I did the same kind of old school setup that I used to do, which I think works out the best most places I do it. So that was good. The weather was pretty bad, so the crowd wasn't huge or anything, but 10 people in that place kind of seems like a lot. So Kyle Yap and Corey, they stopped by because Kyle was playing in town, so that was pretty cool of them to. I don't know if they really knew I was playing, but they stopped and stayed for a couple songs, said hi and stuff. And he was playing over at Pub 13 after. For this show, I would say I didn't really get in a good flow ever. I don't know what it was. Maybe too much caffeine before or something, but I like couldn't. Seemed like I couldn't really catch my breath necessarily, but I do pretty much the same pre-show ritual every time I play, so I don't know what it was, but maybe it was just the anxiety of playing by myself and with a small crowd staring at me, mixed with the overdoing the caffeine, but ultimately it was fine. Got through the show, and I think it sounded good for the most part, and it it wasn't super packed like it is a lot of the times we play there, but it still got pretty busy at a couple points. And I did, since Kyle and Corey stopped by my show, I ended up and stopped over there after and talked to Kyle a little bit, and he did a couple funny ones when I got in there. He did the shark song that like all the parents definitely are super familiar with, and then he did some other ones and took a break, and we talked a little bit, and he ended up and was like, oh, I'm gonna play these two songs that I know you like a lot, and I was like, perfect. So he played one of his originals called X's Doorsteps, which I've always liked, and he played Machine Gun Man, which I can't remember who sings that song originally, but boy, does he kill it. He is, when he came to see me, it, like, made me a little nervous, I guess, because, like, I don't know, he hasn't seen me play with the foot drums pretty much ever, and I obviously value his opinion, but it seemed like when I showed up to watch him play, it's like he almost just got better. I don't know, maybe it was because the songs were, like, some of my favorites, and I was really into them, but, man, that guy really humbles you sometimes. So that was the Saturday, and then Sunday, we did the Nap House studio recordings, which we have done, me and Lo did once. Before we did When You're Gone and Horse. I think When You're Gone turned out really good, which that's a new single we just released, working on a music video for it right now. And then because pretty much I just did a soft release because I feel like having a video right when you release a song is usually because people will stick around for the song longer if you have a music video for it, because it's something to look at instead of just listen. But so we've been working on ideas, at least, for the music video, and actually talked to one of the guys at Nap House about maybe shooting one for it. I've been working on one myself, but it's sorting through footage from the Colorado tour last year, and it's just been kind of weighing on me, and I don't know if I have enough footage because I lost all the phone footage. All I have is my camera footage, which is still pretty good, but I think we just lost some videos for sure. But anyway, so that was the last time we played at Nap House. And that was just me and Lo, like I said. This time was me, Blair, Lo, Kev, and Dave. So full band, and it was in a different location than the last one. The last one was in, like, their house basement. This one was in their warehouse. And those guys are so awesome for, putting this stuff together. They work so hard. I've been paying attention to, like, their Facebook and YouTube stuff, and they are putting out videos constantly. It seems like they have maybe close to hundreds. I don't know, but they put them out consistently, and they do it because they're just good guys. So it was cool that they let us do it once acoustic, and then they let us do it once full band. We ended up and did this last time. We pretty much did everything, and I think we did one take, maybe we did 2 takes of Horse, I don't remember. But this one we ended up doing a few more takes of the song because we wanted to get it everybody's best performance. We wanted everybody to be happy with it. So Ride the Breeze we did, I think, like 2 takes, and both of those turned out pretty well. And then Planes, Trains was a little bit of a different story. I don't feel like it went as well as I would have liked, so I'm not really sure how the end product will be with that one. But it's crazy. They do 4 cameras, and they're just really doing a lot, I think, to support the music scene around here, because they shoot so many videos, and they edit them, and they edit the audio, or mix the audio to make it sound good. Also, kind of a cool thing is just we've been playing with Kev, our bass player, a lot more, because we have a full band show coming up this Friday, and that's our first, like, full band show in a really long time. And then he did the Nap House thing, like I said, so we've been practicing with him a lot more, and it's always good to have Kev around. He has a good energy for sure. But anyway, so this show we have next week, we'll have that show on Friday, and that's at Distill, and that's like for a benefit. So that'll be super cool. And then so I'll be talking about that next week. And Saturday I'm playing a little wine bar. I think it's in Gilman for the first time, so that'll be interesting for sure. I'm doing definitely one-man band for that one. And I think that's pretty much it. So that was the shows this weekend, and that's what's coming up. Again, we got the Colorado tour booked, so that'll be mid-August. So anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you next time.
Thank